Good day, everyone. I hope you all had a super Saturday. Today's actually Sunday that I'm filming this. Got a little distracted, I guess. So yesterday, on Saturday, I'm gonna fill you in on my day. So started out, not a big deal. We went out to see a movie. It was just Star Wars, Episode 7, The Force Awakens. And I'm gonna do my best not to spoil anything here, but great movie. I just realized my computer screen is right there. Great movie. I really thought it was. I was not disappointed. I was. I'll say that they don't answer every single question that comes up in this movie, which is good because it's the base in a trilogy. It's not good because it means you have to wait. Lots of things are addressed as far as questions that we have before the movie, questions introduced in the movie. Thought the acting was great. We really, it's like you were waiting for that point where you see those familiar characters come into the movie, and but you weren't like waiting for them, if you know what I mean. I mean, we get introduced to these new characters, and for a decent little part of the movie, we don't see any familiar faces. But it's like you don't miss it. You're in the Star Wars universe, and you feel like you're in the Star Wars universe. Everything feels like it's connected, like it should be. But at the same time, you're not seeing familiar faces. You're seeing these new characters come about, and you're just like trying to feel like what's this character going through, and what's this character going through, and all these different things and these interactions that they have. Um, I'm glad that BB-8, the droid, was a much bigger part of the story than was let on, because a lot of people were thinking it was just going to be a cash grab for all the toys for that cute little droid, and I mean, that's that too, but it has a very integral part in the story, without being there too much. Also, they did a good job of not overwhelming us with droids and things like that. That being said, the first time we see C-3PO in the movie, the timing was perfect. It just fit with everything you know about C-3PO. It was a nice little nod, I thought, and you can read into this if you want. It was a nice little nod to a lot of C-3PO's comedic timing in The Empire Strikes Back. That being said, the story in general wasn't like nothing. There was like a lot of parallels you see from Episode 4 in this movie again. I don't know if that's just to establish a familiarity or what, but there were several plot points and things along the way where it's like, I see this in Episode 4 quite a bit. And then did a pretty good job of, I guess, following 30 years after Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. So it fit well, despite its distance from the saga. It fit in well, and it was a great start to a trilogy, I thought. There were moments that had you laughing. There were moments that had you like on the edge of your seat. There were moments that had you sad, and you weren't happy about things that were going on. You were hoping certain things would come forward and didn't, and so it was just like it just ran a gambit of emotions for me when I was watching it. But I left ultimately, even though at the end of the movie I said, "No, why are you ending now?" I still left very satisfied. Was not a disappointment at all whatsoever. And I'm not one of those people that hate on the prequel trilogies, because I see what George Lucas was trying to do there. It might not have been the best choice of doing it. He might not have done it in the best way. But still a lot better than prequel trilogies. I don't know if I would put it above Empire Strikes Back. I don't know if I'd put it above Return of the Jedi. I don't know if I'd put it above Episode 4, but it's pretty close. It gets pretty close. And honestly, I'm not sure. I guess I do rank Return of the Jedi above the original Star Wars. The original Star Wars is classic, but I think overall, the way things were done throughout, Star Wars could have been a standalone. And for that reason, It's not as good, I think, as Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, because those two blended together well. They led into the other one picked up from the other one. And whereas the beginning of Empire Strikes Back, it comes up and you know these characters, but you could have walked in without seeing the original Star Wars and seen Empire Strikes Back. You can walk into this without seeing the original Star Wars and enjoy it for sure, definitely. So for all these people that are like refusing, there's not very many, but I've met a few who like never watched Star Wars, never wanted to get into Star Wars, and for that reason aren't getting excited about this and even refuse to go to this. I say it does do a lot of fan service and a lot of connections and little nostalgic moments tying into the old that I enjoyed. There's still plenty of new stuff going in, and the way the old characters are put into this story, you can go in with zero knowledge of Star Wars and probably enjoy this movie. I can't say that for a fact because I know so much about Star Wars, but really enjoyed it overall. Recommend it. Definitely go see it. And that's my review of that. And I would love to sometime in the future talk more in depth about all the little things, but for now we're going to leave this. Hopefully, I already did, spoiler free. Then a bunch of us went out afterward. Those of us who went to see the movie, we went out afterwards. We went together to see the movie. We went out afterwards to eat and talk about the movie. And it was a pretty good discussion. A lot of the people we were with have a lot of back knowledge of Star Wars as well, and I love talking about Star Wars, either to people who don't know or to people who do know, and all these connections and stuff we can make. And so we had a lot of really in-depth understanding of the material, deeper than just in the movie and even just in the movies. Looking into the fact that they did take away a lot of the expanded universe as being non-canon in Star Wars now. There were still plenty of parallels with some of the canon material without being actually using the expanded universe things, I thought. So we talked a lot about that. And then I decided in the evening I was just going to go out and go to the Dollar Theater and go see The Maze Runner, the second movie in that, The Scorch Trails, or Trials. Or, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the name actually is. I didn't enjoy it quite as much as the first one, and a lot of people don't like the first one at all. It did a good job of progressing the story, I thought. But there were too many moments. A lot of shaky cam, a lot of darkness, some jump scares in there, because the problem with Earth in the Maze Runner is there's a disease that's wiped out, spread across the known world that we know of in that particular environment, anyways. And these creatures, the people turn into like mindless, crazy, psychotic, fast zombies, kind of, without any eyes. They claw their eyes out because of the disease or whatever. And so the idea behind it is that certain kids have been born in with an immunity to this disease, and the idea would likely be to save them, keep them safe from all the infected, and let them grow up, and basically they'd be the new hope for humanity. And the idea is that these people in this organization feel like they should be using what these kids have to heal everyone else. But what winds up happening is you are taking the lives away from these kids in order to do that. And so they're basically just milking the enzyme out of the kids, while the kids are just basically officially alive but not really anymore. And all it does is buy time. It doesn't actually find or create a cure. And so the idea is, do they keep doing that, or do they give the kids hope to start a new future once all of these infected have died off? And that's kind of the contention there. And the people that feel like they should just keep looking for the cure at the expense of these kids don't really have that moral code, and so they kill others. They do all sorts of terrible things. So they're definitely seen as the villains in this movie. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I like the Maze Runner just a little bit better than the Scorch Trials, or Trails, or whatever it's called. Yeah, that's my day. I saw those 2 movies. So I don't not recommend Scorch Trials. Make sure you see the first one if you're gonna see that one though. And it's kind of, yeah. But Star Wars Episode 7, Force Awakens, definitely worth it. I'm gonna go again, probably several times while it's in the theaters. I will get it probably off of iTunes as soon as it's available and watch it a bunch more times. It's Star Wars and it's back and it was good. So yeah. So I'm going to say goodbye, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this vlog, this little review of both Scorch Trials and Star Wars, The Force Awakens. And I'll be back later to tell you about my day today. But that's another time. So, see ya, everyone. Later.